This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley with the sinister grin, right? This malevolent look that's on her face right now. Clearly smiling after injuring Sophie Cunningham.
Bria Hartley just took Sophie Cunningham out of the game with what looked like a brutal leg collision. And then she was caught on camera smiling while Cunningham limped off in clear pain. Was this an accident or something worse? And why did the refs let it stand? Fans and even Cunningham's family blasted the officiating, demanding accountability after yet another dangerous play left a player hurt.
Sophie Cunningham, let's be clear here. Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. But Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty play.
Hartley's long history of hair pulling, dragging opponents to the floor, and reckless scuffles has only intensified the backlash online. Fans and analysts alike are calling for serious discipline, with demand for an investigation and even suspension growing louder by the hour. All of it built up to the moment that shifted everything. Sophie Cunningham crashing to the court as a Fever season hung in the balance. So here's a question. Does Hartley truly deserve suspension? And more importantly, how should the WNBA step up to protect its stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into it.
Play that just occurred.
That's like she tried to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes a collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. She went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
What looked like a routine possession quickly turned into a nightmare. Midway through the second quarter, Bria Hartley drove hard to the rim, cutting through traffic before colliding directly with Sophie Cunningham's right leg. Was it an accident or something more? Cunningham instantly grabbed her knee, grimacing in pain before collapsing to the hardwood. She tried to push herself up, only to sink back down, unable to stand on her own. Trainers rushed in, lifting her as she leaned heavily on their shoulders, still clutching her knee. Just minutes later, the announcement came. Cunningham was done for the night and headed straight to the locker room.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
The reaction from those who witnessed it courtside told the whole story. Fever head coach Stephanie White later admitted her first thought was simply asterisk holy shit. Asterisk, it was the kind of shock you feel when a player's body bends in a way it never should. Slow motion replays only made the scene more gut-wrenching. The awkward angle of contact, Cunningham immediately clutching her knee, the pained expression etched across her face. The entire arena fell silent, players and fans alike frozen by what they had just seen.
Indiana Fever fans wake up pissed off today. Pissed off. Not only are we getting assaulted, but they're smiling about it. This is the 6th time they've smiled, laughed, and cheered on our Indiana Fever players getting assaulted, getting injured, and it pisses me off.
The officials didn't even stop to review the play, letting the game roll on as if nothing had happened, and that decision quickly became its own controversy. Fans slammed the referees for what they saw as a total lack of awareness, while social media erupted with accusations that the league is failing to protect its stars. Cunningham's sister, Lindsay, voiced her frustration directly, criticizing the officiating and calling out the WNBA for fining players who speak up instead of addressing inconsistent calls. Her mother, Paula, went even further, blasting Hartley as out of control on the court, though she later deleted the post. Still, their anger captured what many Fever fans were already feeling. The play was mishandled, and Sophie was left vulnerable in a situation that never should have been ignored.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy.
For Indiana, this wasn't just another setback. It was a devastating blow in a season already plagued by injuries. Caitlin Clark was sidelined with a groin issue. Ari McDonald and Sydney Coulson were already lost for the year. And now Sophie Cunningham joined the list, leaving the Fever's backcourt thinner than ever. Beyond her scoring and grit, Cunningham's leadership had been a steadying force, and losing her created yet another hole in a roster already stretched to its limits. Playoff hope suddenly felt shaky. But this moment went beyond basketball. The collision, the injury, and the official's decision to let play continue ignited a firestorm that spread far outside the court. Frustration swelled online, and then came the detail that changed everything. Cameras caught Bria Hartley's reaction. As Cunningham was helped off the floor, Hartley appeared to smile. That single image lit the fuse, transforming a tough injury into a full-blown controversy.
Making all kind of excuses to say that Bria Hartley is not a dirty player. Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy pool. Don't sit here and try to tell me Bria Hartley is not a dirty player.
A player writhes on the floor with a knee injury, and seconds later the camera catches Bria Hartley smirking. That snapshot, aired live and clipped almost instantly, became the flashpoint of the entire controversy. Fans latched onto it right away. To them, it wasn't just bad optics. It looked like Hartley laughing while Sophie Cunningham was being helped off the court. And that image struck a nerve, sparking outrage across every corner of social media.
Listen, Sophie Cunningham was targeted, y'all. I'm telling you right now, Sophie Cunningham was targeted by Bria Hartley, and it just is what it is. It is what it is. I don't want to sit here and play games and act like, you know, she wasn't. She was targeted by Bria Hartley, and that's just the fact of the matter. And people can act like it's not all they want. I told you guys this girl was a dirty player, and that's all she did today was show how dirty she is.
What was already a heated debate over a reckless collision suddenly had a face. Hartley's grin, caught at the very moment emotions were at their peak, became fuel for fans who already believed the play was intentional. To them, that smirk felt like confirmation. And that's where everything shifted. Suspicion turned into outrage, and the incident was no longer seen as just an ugly foul. It became the tipping point in a larger conversation about accountability.
Now look, you can tell Bria Hartley, in my opinion, she launched herself into her knee. She did. And I've seen some of the reaction online, and guys, it's despicable. It really is. There's a lot of people celebrating this injury. And guess what? You can imagine who it is. It's members of the old WNBA fandom, the ones that root for Paige Beckers and Angel Reese and Asia Wilson and all the usual damn suspects.
The context around Hartley made that clip cut even deeper. If it had been a player with a spotless reputation, maybe fans would have brushed it off, chalked it up to adrenaline, frustration, or a split-second misread. But Hartley isn't that player. Her reel already comes with baggage, and fans wasted no time digging it back up. Earlier this year, she was caught on camera yanking Angel Reese's hair during a rebound, sparking outrage from both benches. In another game, she tangled with Rebecca Allen in a scuffle that ended with her being ejected.
Atkins, 7 to shoot. Cardoso rolls, catch. Cardoso over the top, can't get it. Reese fights for the rebound, and a foul, and this time gets a little tippy, and a shove on Nelson Adota. And listen, this arena, typically we'll see some ringside fights, and Charles this time trying to fight through the official, points a long finger. As both teams walk to their respective corner.
Well, we mentioned the physicality and that last possession, the contact being let go. This time, I think it was accidental by Hartley, and then Reese just with a big reaction. And Tina Charles, being the vet that she is, going to stick up for her team. If you know anything about Angel Reese, she is going to go hard. She's tough. She cares about making a stand for her team. And I love the reaction from Tina Charles as a vet. You want to see your vet.
She's also had run-ins with Skylar Diggins and other reported clashes that, over time, have formed a clear pattern in the public eye. While no single incident defines an entire career, strung together they paint a picture, and it's one that's increasingly hard to defend.
And again, the big steal by Neka, and they're rolling.
Diggins has it, and the frustration foul.
So when the clip of Hartley laughing after Cunningham's injury spread, fans didn't treat it as an isolated moment. They stacked it alongside her past clashes and saw a pattern. Hartley is a repeat offender, a player who crosses a line far too often. Among fans and even some writers, she's now branded a dirty player. Media outlets quickly jumped in, connecting the dots between her history and the Cunningham collision, with many suggesting the league will have no choice but to hand down a suspension. Analysts called the smirk the moment that cemented a narrative already taking shape. Others noted how so many of her past incidents went largely unpunished, feeding the belief she could play recklessly without consequences. That lack of accountability is exactly what made the smile sting so much more for viewers.
This is Bria Hartley right here, grinning from ear to ear with Sophie Cunningham smiling. I mean, that's despicable, folks. There's no other way to look at it. Yeah, how about this right here? That chick grinning after Caitlin Clark got slammed to the ground. And then this chick. I mean, really? Unbelievable.
Right now, the narrative is hotly cast as a villain. Cunningham's sidelined with a knee injury, officials accused of ignoring the moment, and Hartley walking away with a smirk. That's the image that stuck as a night wore on. But for Indiana, the fallout went far beyond perception. They still had to finish the game with a depleted roster and a 21-point hole on the scoreboard. The real question became, did the Fever have anything left in the tank, or was this the breaking point that would sink their season? With Caitlin Clark already out, Ari McDonald gone for the year, and now Sophie Cunningham added to the list, Indiana looked finished. Down 21 in the third against one of the league's most physical teams, the game seemed all but over. And then, it wasn't. In stunning fashion, the Fever flipped the script and mounted the biggest comeback in franchise history.
An assassin! Kelsey Mitchell! Every game is a home game! Listen to the crowd in Connecticut! Final score in overtime! Fever 99, Sun 93! And Indiana completes the greatest comeback in franchise history!
The spark that flipped everything came from Kelsey Mitchell. She had just 4 quiet points at halftime, showing no signs of what was about to unfold. But after the break, she caught fire in a way few players ever do. Mitchell poured in 34 points in the second half alone, finishing with 38 total to match her career high. And she did it with surgical precision, 11 of 22 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, and 11 of 12 at the stripe. Every time Indiana's season looked ready to unravel, Mitchell answered. Then in overtime, she took complete control, scoring the Fever's first 10 points, capped by back-to-back daggers from deep that silenced the sun and reignited her team's belief.
Kelsey Mitchell has a new career high! Backdoor Mitchell bouncing in the paint for 2. Kelsey Mitchell, the big is matched up. Mitchell squeezing through for 2 in the ball. Falls on the other end. Mitchell launching it.
Mitchell may have lit the spark, but she didn't carry the load alone. Aliyah Boston held down the paint with a monster double-double, 14 points, 13 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Against Connecticut's physical frontline, her dominance on the glass proved invaluable. Every rebound meant another chance for Indiana. Every kick-out opened the door for Mitchell to keep bumming away. Boston's poise and presence calmed the Fever when the game threatened to spiral, giving her teammates the stability they needed to finish the comeback.